Okay, so I'll start your reading right now, getting that out of the way. The first card you passed is the Knight of Swords. Yeah, so the first thing, I'm getting a very, very, very strong feeling here. Yeah, it feels like lots of ups and downs. It feels like lots of emotional ups and downs, actually. Yeah, just looking over this whole top row here, you've got 3 knights, which is really, really rare to have in a spread to start with. And then you've got them all together like this. And this is the first time I've ever seen them all like this across in a row. And they're in the top row, which is really, really interesting to me. So I've never, ever seen this before. And so sometimes lots of knights, just before I start with this Knight of Swords, if you get lots and lots of knights, in a spread, sometimes it can mean news coming in, unexpected news coming in, news that changes how you feel. And I think it is about changing your emotions, because I've got these ups and downs, these up and down emotions that I'm really feeling here looking at this. So I think this news that comes in is going to be something that turns your emotions around on its head. That's the feeling I'm getting. And also you've got the Judgment card right in the center, and the center card's a really important card in the spread. So that can be about the same thing. Big changes, big turning points. So I just wanted to point that out before I started. But yeah, with this card, ups and downs, up and down emotions, and also with the Knight of Wands that's right next to that, with that horse jumping up and down. So those two, lots of hurt, anger, upset, jumping up and down, but it's not like you're angry. It's not like you're lashing out. I'm not getting that. You're really preventing yourself from lashing out. It's like, no, I'm not going to let myself do that. I'm just going to go into myself. So I'm getting that feeling. I'm not going to lash out. I'm not going to do that. I feel like I want to. I'm feeling really upset. I'm up and down. I'm all over the place really emotionally. This is what I'm getting for someone, obviously not everyone. But I'm going to go into myself. And yeah, I'm getting this feeling of hiding, actually, not literally. It's not like you're hiding under the stairs or something. Maybe you were, but it's not literally hiding from people, because you're doing everything you were supposed to be doing. It's like, yeah, you're doing your work, all your chores, everything you're meant to be doing. But anything beyond that, it feels like, oh, it's a bit too much. I can't do anything beyond that. If people are trying to get me to do things, encroach on me, ask me to do anything extra, I really can't cope with anything extra right now. I can only do what I'm really supposed to be doing, and that's it. No more. It feels a little bit, I don't like using this word, but it feels a little bit anxious, a bit like anxiety. Maybe not full on anxiety, but it's kind of like, no, if any extras come along, I know I can't cope with that. Things are a little bit on edge now, but if I have to cope with anything extra, I might be tipped over that edge. That's what I'm getting. And there's a little bit of avoidance as well, because I'm getting someone trying to come in, phone calls, someone trying to bother you, and it feels like a physical feeling. It's like, no, I can't deal with this person right now. I really can't. I cannot talk to them. Physically, I cannot do that. It's a physical feeling. Very difficult person. This is what I'm getting. Someone very difficult trying to come in. Everything's on their terms. I'm seeing this very clearly. Everything's on their terms. And it's like, no, I can't. Usually I can, but right now, now's not the time to be dealing with this person. That's what I'm getting. So if this is someone you really have to deal with, I'm not sure who this is, but if it's someone you absolutely have to deal with, for example, if it's your boss or something, see if you can take a bit more control of the contact, if that makes sense. So if, for example, if you're working from home, which a lot of people are doing right now, and if they're kind of bombarding you, see if you can just talk to them and say, I'll get back to you at this time, if that helps. You might not be able to do that. Or, things like, sometimes this can help. Things like, instead of phone calls, messaging and emails can help, because it's not having to face them head on. So lots of those things might help. Or just like, yes, I'll get back to you at this time. And then, when you feel calmer, talk to them. But it's more about taking control of the contact yourself. So if you can do that, try and do that. I don't know if that'll help or not, but yeah, I know that's really specific to start with, but I was really feeling that, or I'm feeling this anxiety. I'm feeling this like I can only cope with so much, and you're trying to push more onto me. So hopefully hopefully that helps someone who needs to hear that. So the next card you have, your past, is, yeah, see the Four of Pentacles. See, wanting to protect yourself, going inwards. That's what this card's about. And so it's, if you're feeling that way about anyone, it's for a reason. If you feel as if I need to protect myself around someone, it's absolutely for a reason. And I think you have had some controlling people in your past, and maybe that's one of these people. Controlled. I'm getting that. Oh, they've tried to control me. They've tried to control me. So I need to hold on to myself. I need to kind of do that. And all these past cards are all showing me, all of them, that you have this huge need to just protect yourself. You know, protect yourself generally. And keep yourself to yourself. And yeah, so I'll talk about the Four of Swords here as well, because what I'm getting is, with this way that you're feeling emotionally, if this is you, you've had this before. You've had these waves of up and down emotions, and it's like, I know what I have to do. I've been through this before. What I had to do before was hunker down, put my head down, just lie down, wait for this all to pass. I can't actually go to bed. I feel like I'd like to do that, like this man on the Four of Swords. I'd love to just go to bed and go to sleep and turn the world off right now. But I can't do that. I've got to get on with my life. I've got to do my work, all the things I need to do. But above that, I can't cope with that. So for the moment, I'm just going to do what I need to do, put my head down, wait for this to pass. And that's kind of what you're doing. And to me, it sounds really negative, I know, but to me, it feels positive, because you know yourself. And the thing about this is, you know that this is going to pass. Because some people who go through these emotions, they get into this spiral and they're like, this will never change. It'll never get better for me. But you know it will. You know it will. So that's a big thing I'm picking up there. The other thing I'm getting here is, this is someone who, yeah, there's someone around you who, they would have been more than happy to help you, actually. They would have been happy to come and rescue you and help you and be with you. Yeah, this is love. This is love. I'm feeling love here. I'm feeling love coming from them. I don't think you were open to that help or that love or whatever at this time. I don't think you're totally closed off to this person. This is a completely different person, by the way. It's not a controlling person. This is a very calm, very positive energy. You know, I think for one, you don't like asking for help, and sometimes you don't like accepting help. And I think maybe if you've got someone in your background who's controlled you, sometimes, you know, accepting help can feel like control. Because if someone steps in and says, I'll take over, I'll do this for you, it can feel a little bit like control, even if it isn't. So you've got this kind of resistance to that. So I'm getting that there. But yeah, I'm getting lots and lots of love from someone. It really feels like they love you. It really does. And it feels like they'd love to help you. And yeah, it feels like you know they're there, you know they're around. And the other thing is, I think you're not quite ready for this love or this person, or to open up to this person, because of the way you're feeling. That's another thing as well. It's like, I'm not ready right now. I'm not ready emotionally for a lot of things right now. So there's love there. There's absolutely love. It feels like it's very, very, very slow, coming in very slowly. And I think you're the one who's holding back. I don't think they're coming in and saying, oh, please be with me, this and that, and you're holding back. I'm not getting that. I'm getting that they're very patient, and they're waiting for you, and they really, really love you. But the holding back is coming from you. So it's like, once you stop holding back, if that's what you decide to do, this can happen, this can come together. So that's kind of what I'm getting in that card. So I hope all that makes sense to someone. So yeah, so the first card you have your present is the Knight of Wands. Yeah, you see, so yeah, a few reasons we can see that here as well, why you're feeling a little bit unsure of this connection, or maybe even any connection right now. If you're single, it's like, no, I don't want any connection right now, because you've had lots of people like this Knight of Wands in your life. in and out. That's what this Knight is, in and out of your life, promising you things and then running away. You've had people do that to you, I think. And then there's this controlling person. You've had a couple of controlling people in your life. You've got a relationship, I think. It feels like you've had a controlling relationship, and then you've got a controlling situation, another kind of thing I'm picking up there as well. So, and so, you know, I think for you, it's like, no, I don't want anything right now. I just want peace with these ups and downs that I'm feeling. I just want peace. I just want space. And the other thing about you is in relationships as a Scorpio, you're a very, 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 very passionate person. You love being in love. You accept love. You want love. Love is, you know, being in love is when you're in your element. You really, really are. But I'm not getting that feeling around you right now. Because of how you're feeling emotionally. You're going through these ups and downs and you're just like, no, I just want to lay low. I just want peace. I'm just going into myself at this time. I need to protect myself. I'm getting that as well. So that's just how you are now. And again, I think you know that you're going to get this back. And with this connection in the Four of Swords, again, they're prepared to wait for you. They're prepared to wait for you. And of course, you know how you feel. No one else knows how you feel, only you do. So you might accept them eventually. You might accept them in, you might not. But I'm just looking at the Knight of Pentacles, and it's kind of right next to this card. And I'm just comparing the two, and I think maybe that's why that's there. Because, you know, they're both so different. And, you know, this is someone who's dependable. They're willing to work for you. This is a workhorse, and they want to wait for you. This is the Knight of Pentacles. This is about waiting. This is about patience. And they're the total opposite of the Knight of Wands. And that's what you've had in the past. This is what this is showing me. And this is this other person that's trying to come in. And again, they're very patient. They're very dependable as well. I'm seeing that here. And again, they're willing to wait for you. And I'm not sure how much they've told you about how they feel about you. I think you know, I think you're guessing, but they might not have said a lot because, again, there's lots of caution around them as well. But it feels very nice. It feels very, very positive. And it feels like they're waiting for you. They're waiting to see how you feel. There's no obsessive waiting. There's no impatient waiting. That's what you've had in the past. Obsessiveness, impatience, you've had control. I'm not getting any of that here. So I just want to point all that out to you. That's what I'm seeing. It might be a little bit difficult to connect with them even when you decide to do that, or if you do, because you're not used to that. You know, I know that sounds horrible, but you're used to these other kinds of people in your life. And anyway, yes, so, you know, you've lost your mojo a bit. I'm getting that very clearly. It's all over this so far. But you know it's going to come back, and it is going to come back. I can see that here, and I'll talk about that later on. But, you know, you'll get back, you'll come back into yourself. And I think when you start to get yourself back again, you'll probably start to look into this connection a little bit more seriously than you have been. You just don't have it in you to do anything extra. That I keep on getting that really, really clearly, but you will later on. So the next card you have for your present is Judgment. Yes. Okay, so this is the start of the turning point, and this is what I was seeing before, the start of a turning point. So it's not a nice turning point to start with, but it turns into something a bit better later on. I'm seeing that quite clearly. Now, okay, I'll just tell you what I'm seeing right away. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm getting an apology. It might not be all that sincere, actually, because I'm getting lots and lots of warning signals around this. I'm getting this really strong feeling that you need to protect yourself. And I think that's why you've been feeling this all along, because it's almost like I've been preempting this. I've had this feeling, I've had these instincts telling me I need to go into myself. I need to protect myself. I don't know why that is. I don't feel that good. I have this need to go inwards. And I think that's why. I think this person who's coming in to apologize, they might be someone who has controlled you in your past. I think that's why I'm getting all this controlling energy. And they're coming in, again, it doesn't feel all that sincere to me. And I think they're going to try and control things. Because, yeah, control. So they're going to apologize. And what I'm getting is, it feels like they're expecting you to jump. It feels like, okay, I'm coming in, I'm apologizing, and they should jump. When I call them, they need to answer me right away. When I get back to them, they need to say, oh, yes, I'll accept your apology right away. And they might actually be the same person in the Knight of Swords, this person you couldn't cope with. It might be that same person, because I'm getting a very similar feeling here than I was getting there. But yeah, so jump to attention when I call you. I'm getting that really clearly. And, you know, if you look at this card, you've got this angel blowing his trumpet and everyone's jumping to attention, literally, in this card. So I think what's going to happen is you're probably going to completely turn your back on this person for once and for all. I think you've thought of this before. You've thought, oh, should I turn my back on them? Should I block them? Should I do this or that? I think now when they come back and they do all this to you, it's going to give you all these feelings again. And you're going to say to yourself, yes, this is why I had this feeling that I had to protect myself. This is why I was feeling this way. I need to completely turn my back on this person. And you can see in the Judgment card, they've got their backs, a lot of these people. That's what you're going to do. You're going to turn your back, and I think you're going to block them. And I think this shock, it is a shock, because I think you're used to talking to them sometimes. And this big apology, this big, you know, you have to listen to me now. You have to listen to me now. You have to accept my apology. You have to talk to me, and it's just too much for you. And you're going to be like, no, I'm blocking that. And once you've blocked that, once you've totally turned your back on this energy, it's a controlling energy, that's when your life is starting to turn around for the better. That's what I'm getting here. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to go on to the Three of Pentacles now, because it's really leading up to that, or this is leading into that, I should say. So looking at the Three of Pentacles, you can see this now. The three coins on this card look like wheels, and it looks like they're turning around. So turning point, things are turning around in the right direction for you. And if you look around these three wheels here, these three coins, I'm saying wheels because they're like wheels turning around to me, there's an arrow around them, and the arrow is pointing up. So it's like, now that things are turning around for me, things are going to turn upwards for me. Now that I've turned my back, I can finally turn my life around. Really empowering. This is a very, very, very important reading for you if this is resonating with you. Very, very strong reading. Really good turning point here. So yeah, so it's going to start with how you feel as well. So turning your back, then the way you feel about yourself is going to start to turn upwards. You're going to start feeling a lot better on the inside. And that's how you manifest things. You know, you've got the Magician here. So feeling good on the inside, manifest better things on the outside. Confidence coming back, I'm getting that, gradually turning yourself back around, and you're getting yourself back around to your real self, your absolute best self, the Magician, which is right at the end. Really, really beautiful, and it's right next to this. So this is an amazing reading, fantastic. Okay, so something else I'm getting here in the Three of Pentacles, this can be about a meeting, could be about a collaboration. Now, yeah, with this thing I'm seeing, you're probably going to say, oh, I don't want to do that when I tell you this, because it doesn't feel, or it doesn't sound all that appealing when you first hear about this. But it's going to grow later on. It's something that starts off very small, very humbly, and it grows slowly. It grows later on. You know, you've got the Knight of Pentacles here, which is about working and things happening slowly. So with this card, this is about, you know, it's about work, and there's not a lot of money in this to start with, I have to say, or it might even be there's no money to start with. Now, this is what I'm getting, someone's going to ask you to help them with something. It feels a little bit like a collaboration or something like that, or a partnership between two people. There are probably more people going to come in later on, because this is three people in this card, but it starts off with two. I'm feeling that quite strongly. There's a lot of potential in this, and they can see the potential. It feels like a wacky, crazy idea to a lot of people, but not to them. And they're going to ask you to help with this, collaborate or work on this in some way. It's some kind of business or work thing, because this is Pentacles. Now, at least listen to this person. Don't dismiss this. Because what I'm getting here really strongly is that phrase, right place, right time. You know, I was at the right place in the right time. And that's where you are with this. It's right at the beginning. It's right at the beginning of something. It's something that's going to grow. I'm seeing someone who's very kind of creative, experimental. They're going to try lots of different things. Some things are going to take off, some things might not. But then eventually this turns around and it really turns into something very, very positive, both money-wise, business-wise, friendship-wise with this partnership, and confidence-wise for you. So if someone comes and asks you to help them with something and it's a new thing and it feels a bit crazy, or it feels a bit like, oh, this isn't really anything, at least talk to them, at least listen to this if they talk to you. So that's really all I want to say there. I'm just going to move on to the future, which is the Knight of Pentacles. Lots and lots of things in the Knight of Pentacles. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful positive feeling I'm getting around this. This is who you want. You don't want the Knight of Wands. You don't want the Knight of Swords. They're the kinds of people who've been in your life in the past, especially in relationships. Now you've got the Knight of Pentacles here. This is who you want. Dependability. Someone who's willing to wait. And I think when you get yourself back together, when you start feeling a bit better and it's gradually happening, you might gradually, I think you'll gradually let this person into you. It's really clear here. It's really obvious that they're waiting. And look at the way they're looking at this coin. They really want this. They really want you. They really love you. But they're holding back. They're waiting for you. That's what I'm getting. It might be that you've known them for a while. It might be that they're a friend and maybe you haven't realised that this could be a love connection until recently. Because, if you look at this card, you've got... just behind this knight, you've got all these lines in the ground, and they're a bit like crops, that have already been sown. The seeds have been sown. So it's like the seeds have been sown, the crop's been planted. So you've already built up some kind of friendship maybe, and now this is kind of ready to turn into love. The seeds are ready to sprout. So yeah, I'm getting that there as well. So it might be that they're friends with you. But yeah, very, very comfortable. You're comfortable around them. They're a comfortable person to be around. That's what I'm getting as well. Very nice feeling around them. I'll talk about the Six of Wands here as well, because that's a beautiful victory card here as well. And they don't mind being your supporter. I'm getting that in the Six of Wands. This man's got all these people supporting them. And supporting him, I should say. And they don't mind being behind you. They don't mind supporting you. They're that kind of a person. They don't like to jump out in front, like the Knight of Wands. They're the Knight of Pentacles. They're happy to take a back seat. It sounds like I'm selling them to you. I know, I'm not trying to do that, but I keep on seeing all this positivity around them. So I'm just saying what I see. Now, the other thing is, again, this is the victory card. So with this thing and the Three of Pentacles, this is another really good indication that this is going to go really well for you. So please say yes to this. Right place, right time. I'm seeing that again here. And at the moment, or when you see this opportunity, if you do, and I think you will, it's going to be, what is that? This is a silly thing. It's not really anything, but it's going to turn into something later on. So this is another indication telling you that, or a message to you. It feels a bit like, when people, right place, right time, when people, at one point in time, it was very unfashionable to buy, this is an example, an old house. Everyone was into modern houses, or I shouldn't say modern, the right word's contemporary houses. So everyone was into that. No one was into old houses. They looked like a wreck. Lots of old houses were being run down at one point in time. And then someone comes and buys it and does it up. And then they're worth a lot of money later on. And then people drive past and they say, oh, why didn't I buy that when it was at a low price? Now it's 10 times more. Well, because that person was at the right place, right time. And they saw this wreck. Everyone else was saying, well, that's nothing. But they saw something in that. They developed it and they did well out of it. So that's the kind of thing I'm seeing here. It might not be a house. It could be anything. It feels like it's something inventive. But that's where you're going to be with this. If you start this, if you say yes, and if you stick with this, it's going to be right point, right time. Also, not right point, right time. Right place, right time.